Good afternoon, second grade. Today we will be taking you back in time. A time before this country was a country, to a time when this country belonged to a different country, all the way across the Atlantic Ocean. And we'll be talking about a time when our country wanted to become its own country. And the story of that is today. My name is John Hancock III. I was born to John Hancock Jr. and Mary Thaxter on January 23rd, 1737. I married my wife Dorothy in 1775. We had two wonderful children named John IV and Lydia. I'm best known for being the president of the Continental Congress during the American Revolution. Oh yes, one other thing. Have you ever been the first one to sign a birthday card? Well, I did something like that. We all wrote a letter to King George of England to let him know we didn't want to be part of his country any longer. It was called the Declaration of Independence. I was the first one to sign it, and I wrote so big that everyone else had to squeeze their name underneath mine. My letter is so famous, it's almost as famous as the Declaration of Independence itself. So next time your mom or dad needs to sign something for you, like a field trip form, just tell them to put their John Hancock on it. And now I want to introduce you to some friends that are going to give you some more information. Would you like to hear from them?
Yes.
Okay. So, without further ado, please welcome Marquise de Lafayette.
Hello, my name is Marquise de Lafayette. I was born on September 6, 1757, to my mother, Marie Louise Jolie de la Rivera. I married my wife, Marie Adrienne Francois de Noailles, on April 11, 1774. We had a son whose name is George Washington Lafayette. I am best known for helping to win the final battle of the American Revolution. I led my group of soldiers into many battles. We won most of them, but we had our share of losses. But in the end, it all paid off. Thank you for listening, and God bless America.
Thank you, Marquise. Now please welcome James Armistead. Anna, come on.
Hi, I'm James Armistead. I was born in Newport, Virginia around 1738 as an enslaved African-American man owned by William Armistead. I was a double agent and spread false news to the British and gave accurate news to America. If it were not for my reports, Lafayette and General Washington may not have won the battle of Yorktown when the British officially surrendered. Even though I played a critical part in the war, I was not given my freedom because I was considered a spy, not a soldier. It was the Marquise de Lafayette who later sent a letter requesting my freedom. It was granted in 1787, and I took the last name of Lafayette out of gratitude. After the war, I married, raised a large family, and lived as a farmer until my death in 1830.
Thank you, James. Please welcome Abigail Adams. Rhea, come on down.
Hello, my name is Abigail Adams. I was born on November 22nd in 1745. My mother and father were Elizabeth Quincy Smith and William Smith. I was also eldest of my other three siblings. My siblings' names were Mary Smith Cranch, Elizabeth Shawn Peabody, and my younger brother William Smith, was named after my father. I married my true love, John Adams, on October 25th in 1764. Me and John had 5 kids. John Quincy Adams, who would be one of the presidents of the United States of America, Abigail Adams Smith, Susanna Adams, Charles Adams, and Thomas Boyston Adams. I'm best known for being the wife to an American president and a mother of another American president. I was also known for being an early advocate for women's rights and sending a letter to my husband while he was working called Remember the Ladies. This means that while he was fighting for America, he was also fighting for the future of the women of America. One of the reasons I was an early advocate for women's rights is because when I was growing up, I never got as good of an education as men. So to put it more simply, I supported women's education. And one time, people started to call me Mrs. President because I was not quiet and informed as other women. I was outspoken and didn't like to be seen or overheard. Thank you for listening, and I encourage every young woman in here to stand up for what you think and believe is right.
Thank you, Abigail. Please welcome Alexander Hamilton's sister-in-law. Braxton, you're on deck.
Hi, I am Peggy Hamilton, and I'm going to tell you about my brother-in-law, Alexander Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton was in Charleston, St. Kitts. He grew up with one older brother. His mom was Rachel. His dad was Jamie Hamilton. A hurricane destroyed his hometown. His parents could not support him. His father left when his mother got sick. He was 5 feet 7 inches tall. He had reddish-brown hair and was married to Elizabeth Hamilton. He had 7 children and worked to the U.S. national debt and created a financial system that the U.S. still uses today, and was the founding father of the United States. His child, Philip Hamilton, died in a duel when he was 19 years old. Alexander Hamilton died in a duel also, and he was put on the $10 bill, even though he was not a president. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Please welcome George Washington. Zane, come on up.
Hi, I'm George Washington. My father was Augustine Washington. My mother was Mary Ball Washington. I was born February 22nd, 1732 in Pope's Creek. My wife was Martha Washington, and I had no children. I'm most known for being the first president of the United States. I also led my own army as a president. I am on the dollar bill. I also enslaved people at 11 years old. My very first job was as a surveyor. I also got smallpox when I went to Barbados. I also led an attack that started the World War. My teeth weren't wooden, but they were made out of my slave's teeth, brass, iron, and steel. So the next time you use a dollar bill, remember me.
Thank you, George. Please welcome Paul Revere. Mitchell, come on down.
Hello and welcome. My name is Paul Revere. I was born January 1st, 1735. I had 2 wives. My first wife I married August 4th, 1757, and my second wife October 10th, 1773. I had 16 children. I outlasted 10 of my children and managed to still have 52 grandchildren. I'm well known for my midnight ride and participating in the Boston Tea Party and being a son of liberty. I died in 1818 at the age of 83 in Boston at my home. Well, it looks like there's 2 lanterns. I best be off now. And don't forget, when you want to ride a horse, ride it at midnight. Thank you for listening and hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Paul. Welcome Ben Franklin. Josiah, come up.
Hi, my name is Benjamin Franklin, and I have 16 siblings, and I am a scientist, an engineer, a musician, and took part in science, politics, writing, music, and diplomacy, and I am called the first American. I am 5'9" and have gray eyes. I have a skullet and brown hair. I don't have any hair on the top of my head, and I was too old to become the president when the Declaration was signed. I am on the $100 bill.
Thank you, Ben. Please welcome General Charles Cornwallis. Ellie, come on.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Charles Cornwallis II. I was born to Elizabeth Cornwallis and Charles Cornwallis I on December 31st, 1738. I married my wife Jemima on July 14th, 1768. We had two wonderful children, Lady Jane Cornwallis and Lady Mary Cornwallis. I am best known for surrendering the Battle of Yorktown. I was born in London, United Kingdom, and had two brothers growing up. I had a big house and was very rich. My mom was Elizabeth Cornwallis, and my brother became an admiral in the Navy. I also went to Clare College. Although I was a very good general, I am best known for surrendering to the Revolutionary War.
Thank you, Charles. Please welcome Alexander Hamilton's wife, played by Ellie Eisenhower. Gabriella, come up.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Hamilton. I am here to tell you about my late husband, Alexander. Alexander Hamilton was born on January 11th, 1755 in Charlestown, Nevis. He had one older brother, James. His father left the family when Alexander was very young, and in 1768, his mother became sick and died. He was orphaned until a prosperous merchant took him in and treated him with great kindness. My beloved husband was 5'7", had blue eyes and unique reddish-brown hair. He attended King's College in 1773. Alexander unfortunately faced many struggles in his life, one of them being a treacherous hurricane ripped through his small helpless town. So many were killed, and Hamilton was left saying, "I couldn't seem to die." My extremely hardworking Alexander achieved many great things. He never stopped until he was satisfied and always kept working even when times were challenging. He was a founding father. He helped draft the U.S. Constitution and served proudly as the first Secretary of Treasury. He also was the founder and chief architect of the United States financial system. And you can't forget, after he finished at King's College in 1775, he and other King's College alumni joined the militia and fought in the war. In 1780, we were engaged and married. On July 12, 1804, in New Jersey, Alexander was tragically killed by a gunshot wound in his side while he was in a duel with Aaron Burr. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Please welcome George Washington. Bryce, come on up.
Hello, my name is George Washington. I was born on February 22nd, 1732 in Westmoreland County, Virginia. When I was young, I had my own garden, and when I was old enough, I had my own pony. I had blue eyes, a long nose, and I was 6'2". I didn't go to college and get an education after my father died. I had to limit school funds. I married Martha Washington after the death of Martha's husband. I didn't have any children, but took care of Martha's children like they were my own. I was struggling with figuring out how to deal with financial issues, and then Alexander Hamilton came up with a good plan that was accepted. I was the first president and a founding father. I was also a general for the Revolutionary War. On December 14, 1799, I died from an illness from losing about 40% of blood. That was the life of me, George Washington. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, George. Oh, here he comes. I think I see Crispus approaching. Izzy, come on up.
That was close.
Why are you running?
Hi, hello. My name is Christmas Addix. I was born in Framingham, Massachusetts, 1723. I was born into slavery. My mother was Native American named Nancy Addix, and my father was Prince Younger. And I escaped slavery at the age of 27. And later I joined the American Army. I was put in the front line of the Boston Massacre. I was famous because I was the first person to die in the Boston Massacre because I died from a gunshot. Thank you. Oh, I think I hear the British. I better get going.
Thank you, Crispus. Please welcome Mercy Otis Warren. Kennedy, come on up.
Hi, my name is Mercy Otis Warren. I was born on September 14, 1728 in Barnstable, Massachusetts. This is also where I lived. I had brown hair and brown eyes. I weighed 142 pounds and my height was 5'3" inches. Girls back then did not get an education. but she would listen to her brother's, I would listen to my brother's lessons when he was studying at Harvard. I married James Warner and I had 5 kids. They were Henry Warner, Winslow Warner, James Warner, Charles Warner, and George Warner. I had a challenging life. I had to work on a farm with my family. I was a poet, playwright, and I wrote many books. I also encouraged women in support of the Boston Tea Party. I put my name on my poems, not a man's name, which was normally what was done. I died on October 19, 1814, I was 86, but nobody really knows how I died. As you can see, I was many things. I was a mother, a playwright, and poet, and I wrote many books. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mercy. And coming back to the stage, Mercy Otis Warren again.
Hello, my name is Mercy Otis Warren. I was born September 14, 1728 in Barnstable, Massachusetts. I got married November 14, 1754 and gave birth to 5 sons. Winslow Warren, Henry Warren, George Warren, Charles Warren, and James Warren. I also read about the American Revolution in 1805. I am best known for being a published poet, political playwright, and a satirist. In 1805, I started writing. I also took action in political matters when women were supposed to be silenced. Next time when you read your history books in class, you will know who wrote some of them down from the American Revolution.
Thank you. Please welcome General Charles Cornwallis back to the stage.
Welcome, one and all. I am Charles Cornwallis, the one who lost the war, but I was the general and a man who could have won us the war, but I was ignored and no one wanted to listen to me. We had to surrender to Yorktown and go back to England, but what I'm known for is for being the general of an army who fought in one of the biggest wars ever. And I lost. And I died on 1805, October 5th, to a fever. Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you, General. And welcome our last speaker to the stage. It's James Armistead Lafayette.
My name is James Armistead Lafayette. I was born on December 10th, 1748. My slave owner, William Armistead. I do not know if I had siblings because I was born in slavery. I was spied for the Revolutionary War. I was free after the war because of Marquis de Lafayette. And my last name, Lafayette, is in honor of Marquis de Lafayette, was I was free. I had several children and a beautiful wife named Elizabeth. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, second grade, for stopping by. We hope to see you in the hallway and give everyone a wave when you see them later, okay? All right, have a good rest of your day.